When you want only the best for your pet, check out AbbybellPetDesigns.com. We offer quality products such as floppy beds, crate pads, round pet beds, pillow slip covers, belly bands, and more. All products come in a variety of colors and sizes, guaranteed to satisfy your pet's particular style. Your pet deserves to be pampered, so shop at AbbybellPetDesigns.com. If you don't see the item you want listed in our shop, just drop us a line and we'll be glad to make the product of your pet's dreams. AbbybellPetDesigns.com. Good morning, everyone. How are you? It's Tuesday. Monica, Gary, good morning. Trying to get my Facebook Live up there. Hey, Penny Arcade, good to see you. Sea to Shining Sea, CMS, Daniel, Brandon, Chesy, good morning. Angels, hello. Chris, hello, hello. How is everybody doing? Good morning. Hey, Shannon, good to see you. Alan, good to see you. Marlene, good morning, good morning. Glad everybody is here. I am great, thank you, Chesy. Hey, Lori, thank you for sharing, everyone. As you're coming in, whoops, there we go. I don't want to ruin my YouTube video over there. Good morning. As you're coming in, I just want to remind you, I showed you this yesterday, but for those that weren't here, this is a cuddle pouch for your dog or cat, for those dogs and cats who like to snuggle and go under blankets and get really nice and warm. This is a better way for them to do it. They can just go right in here and get in here and snuggle, and this could be their own place. This material is so soft and so plush. If I could make a huge one for myself, you know, like a sleeping bag, human size, I would. This happens to be pink, as you can see, and it will fit sizes toy. It will also fit toy, small, medium, and it's really great. Yeah, you can call it whatever you like, CMS. I'm calling it a cuddle pouch, and it's fully lined inside with this material. And again, it's very soft. This pink material outside is flannel material, and you can find it at AbbybellPetDesigns.com. It's ABBYBELLE petdesigns.com. And if you don't see the color there that you like, thank you, Lori. It feels awesome, I'm telling you. Oh, if you don't see the color that you like, just let me know. I picked out some material for someone yesterday who ordered one of them, and I'm making it. And I'm pretty happy with the selection they got. And a lot of times I can take you with me to the fabric store, send you the material in pictures, let you choose which one you like, and so that you'll be happy and your pet will be happy. Hey, Karen. Hey, Jamie. Hey, Barbara. Good to see you. Okay, really quickly now, let me read Proverbs 16, at least part of it. The preparation of the heart belongs to man, but the answer of the tongue is from the Lord. All the ways of a man are pure in his own eyes, but the Lord weighs the spirit. Commit your works to the Lord, and your thoughts will be established. The Lord has made all for himself, yes, even the wicked for the day of doom. Everyone proud in heart is an abomination to the Lord. Though they join forces, none will go unpunished. In mercy and truth, atonement is provided for inequity, and by the fear of the Lord, one departs from evil. Amen. All right. So let's get started. I know you probably, like me, are still hopeful. Hey, Beck, how are you? Hey, Judy, do we need to send you Joanne? Please. Marlene, actually, I have coupons myself on my phone. I had downloaded their app, so I'm all set. Thank you. George Washington University Diversity Workshop, 4 days, combat Easter. What was that? Oh, missed it. Great, thanks. Good, Beck. I'm glad that you're fine. I guess you're probably hoping, like myself, that if these people continue to march toward the border in, it appears like Texas right now, the Central Americans from predominantly Honduras, that the president may call out the military or the National Guard to protect our national security. I know they do, Lori. And Lori, I take my dogs to Joann's, just so you know. My dogs go with me, and they love my dogs. Everybody at Joann's love the dogs, so they they get to occupy them while I'm looking for fabric. So, hey Jerry, good to see you. Um, so yes, I'm hoping that, let's see, George Washington combating Christian privilege in a workshop. Oh, that's great. That's great, Brandon. We went from white privilege to Christian privilege. Oh, great, coming to Texas. Yes, Brownsville, Texas, Wayne's what I'm hearing. Governor of Texas already deployed the National Guard to their border. Yep. He absolutely needs to. I read Mexico is to disband them. We will see. Is to disband them. Yes. Let's hope Mexico keeps them. Let's hope they seek asylum in Mexico. That would be great. And that would mean we don't have any issues. White Christians in particular. Oh, well, that's nice, Brandon. They continue to discriminate against whites and Christians. I think it would, hey, Marlene, it would be good. Let's see, was attacked personally and my business on Twitter today. Block the fool. Huh. Who attacked you, Barbara, and for what reason? I think this is a wake-up call for America, even if the Central Americans don't come here. It's a wake-up call. Liberal with nothing to say. Well, that's true. That's kind of redundant, though, Barbara. Hey, Sherry, good to see you. I think, it's a wake-up call to America because of the fact that anybody could come in here. And even the president has said, because of our immigration laws being what they are, this could really be a possibility. I understand from one thing that I read, let's see, if Joanne knows you by your first name, they know mine, you might have a problem. Judy said. I think we need to fix our immigration laws. There is an executive order that the president signed to stop catch and release, but the Obama holdovers on the Border Patrol are not following his orders. So I think we need to get rid of those people in the Border Patrol, which are those at the top, and replace them with people, hey, Cully, who will follow the executive orders of the president. But Congress needs to act and do something to totally end catch and release, make it a congressional law rather than an executive order. Firing is in order, yes, Brandon. Hey, Wendell. Then said, well, it's not a thesis. He then came at me hitting my business and saying snarky things. Well, but Barbara, that's what the left does when they can't get you on logic because they don't really have any most of the time. And I'm talking about progressive liberals. Then they start attacking you personally. That's what they do. It's their only defense. Good morning, guys. Hope we are all well. Yes, Lee, we are. The Chicago Pops, haven't seen him. Hire Sheriff Joe, blocking a lot on Twitter today, Barbara said. Sometimes you have to, Barbara. I have to block people on Medium.com and on other areas because they want to come and start attacking you personally. They don't want to talk about something. They want to attack you personally. Good morning, Amanda. Good to see you. Okay, so again, let's hope all goes well with the Central Americans. But again, it's a wake-up call. We need to push Congress to do something, and we need that wall. What are supposed to be the repercussions for not following an executive order? Judy, they should be fired, number one, for sure. But, right now, we don't have enough people at the Border Patrol as it is. And how long would it take to try to find somebody that could come in there and do the job? Somebody said Sheriff Arpaio. Hey, I'm all for that. I think it'd be great. He's probably ready. And he would do a great job. But, he is in his 80s, so we might want to find somebody else who is going to stay in the position for a while. There probably are a number of people. I would say maybe move over Rick Perry over there to the Border Patrol. See if he'll take the lead at the head of the Border Patrol. That would be good, but I'm sure, it'd be a step down for him. Great minds discuss ideas. Average minds discuss events. Small minds discuss people. There you go, Brandon. He could organize it, though. Yeah, he could. He would be really good. Or Sheriff Clark. How about Sheriff Clark? Here, he's available. Michael Flynn, yeah, why not? I mean, it would be great. Pardon Michael Flynn, put Michael Flynn in at the Border Patrol. God, would that be amazing or what? That would really be amazing. Is catch and release a law or a policy? It's an executive order, Daniel. I mean, President Trump has gotten rid of it by executive order, but the Congress needs to make it a law. Her could turn them back on international law. They were supposed to stay at first country. Yeah, and like I said, I heard that President Trump was saying that he was telling Honduras, I'm going to cut off your money if you don't, get these people, if they come over to the United States. So hopefully Honduras will listen. Hopefully Mexico will listen. BuzzFeed reporter is saying that they're going to be staying mostly in Mexico seeking asylum. I don't know if I put much credence in what a BuzzFeed reporter has to say, but then again, maybe he knows. We know with President Trump it will be good. Yes. I don't think that, even though he's saying there's not much that we can do, I wouldn't be surprised if he would call out the National Guard at least, and maybe the military. Ban avocado from Mexico. They will hurt Mexico and make liberals mad because they love avocado toast. Except, Brandon, we have avocados in California. Fear of violence is not a reason for asylum here in the USA. No, it's just an excuse, too, as we know, just to get in here. We need cowboys with lassos, round them up, rawhide, move them out, Jerry said. Just a joke. Yes, Brandon, I know. We also have we need a laugh. The U.S. has to handle this to prevent more groups from doing the same thing. Yes, Lori, absolutely. That's the real issue here. We really need Congress to act, because it may be Central Americans trying to come in today. It'll be somebody else coming in tomorrow, going through Mexico, that they'll allow in and come to us. Also, Sessions can file against the organization. Yes. That's, Barbara, that's one of the things we talked about yesterday. Brandon Judd from the National Border Patrol Council had said that he feels that we ought to go after that organization for criminal charges for trying to bring them to the United States. So that might be one reason not to come to the United States, although a nonprofit organization like that probably doesn't care if they're arrested, so that wouldn't stop them. Easter asylum seekers is the Hijra. I see it the same as this, Palestinians. A march to destroy Israel. See story on the Gatestone Institute, Gary said. Hey, Saba. But Congress said they're done with major legislation this year. I know. Can you believe that? Like, are you still getting paid this year? So don't be done with anything until you're stopped being paid, and then you can leave. Hey, Gary, good to see you. These people, they work about 2 days out of the week anyway. I heard lawsuits may be forthcoming too, but Soros has money to cover them. Yep, someone is funding their nonprofit. Absolutely, Lori. Cut their pay then. Exactly, Brandon. You don't want to work, then you don't get paid. What's going on with ads on Hannity? Is it Dean? Well, Hannity is starting to talk about Seth Rich again, and the involvement with possibly, his theories about it. And so advertisers are starting to pull his ads as well. Nice to see you also, Susan. Thank you, Gary. Yeah. But, right now Fox News is saying they're supporting Laura Ingraham. They're not going to let her be shut down because of some people who want to silence the conservatives. And I would imagine they would do the same with Hannity. There have been about 3 groups right now that have pulled their ads from Hannity. One is Cars.com and Lisa Sleep. I've never heard of them. Online mattress retailer and an at-home exercise company. Media Matters again, yes. And Media Matters is always behind that. I don't think Ingram should be shut down. They're not going to, Dean. They basically said that they're supporting her, and they're not going to allow these people to shut her down. Overpriced junk anyway, Brandon said. Probably. Though I don't shop from any of them, so. I don't know why these people are doing this. Well, she did blunder. No, she didn't blunder. She didn't blunder at all. All she said was that he was whining because he didn't get into UCLA or something like that. That's not a blunder. That's not even anything bad to say, really. I mean, my gosh, if that's going to offend you, what else is going to offend you? Somebody saying what time of day it is? Maybe that's going to be a problem. I don't know. Yep, she spoke the truth. Conservative companies need to take their place. Yes. Never apologize. It's a sign of weakness. John Wayne's yellow rose, Barbara said. Ah. Yeah, I mean, it's getting to the point. A little more than that. Why even go there? Stick to the news. Well, no, that is the news, Dean. Um, Basically, she didn't have really a little bit more than that to say. I mean, all she said was he's whining because he didn't get in. She didn't say he's a jerk, he's a this, he's a that. She didn't attack him personally other than to say that. I mean, it's just like, there wasn't anything she said. She didn't call him a racist. She didn't call him anything else. She said he was whining, Dean. That's the news. If she wants to report that, that would be the same as me in the article I wrote about Jim Acosta. I compared Jim Acosta to the uncle or one of the relatives that you always get at a wedding who's inebriated, although Acosta wasn't inebriated. Yeah, it's news if you want it to be, Dean. Anything could be news if you want it to be. But Acosta is the guy that shows up at the wedding that always makes these inappropriate comments, and you wish that he would just go away, but he never does. He keeps coming back. So yesterday he had to keep asking the president about DACA, and I told you, you guys knew this anyway, hey Teresa, that they would soon say that, hey Rob, they would soon say that President Trump killed DACA. And basically yesterday, that's what Jim Acosta said. And what did he do? He says it in front of little kids. Hey, Carmen, did you kill DACA? Did you kill DACA? Thanks for the flowers, Robert. I mean, save those comments like that for a White House press brief. No, Hannity's not the crazy uncle. They also said Hillary would win. Exactly, Brandon. But Jim Acosta, I think it's time for Jim. CNN needs to replace him with somebody else. I couldn't find you, black screen forever. Huh. I don't know, Carmen. So Jim Acosta just does everything he can do at inappropriate times. Kids do not know or understand. Exactly. I mean, you're sitting there saying to him, when kids are around, little kids, the word kill. They don't understand DACA. They might understand the word kill, and they know it's bad, and it's frightening. So are you trying to, I don't know, psychologically damage little kids or something, Jim? MSM is now saying NRA is the new KKK. Of course, Brandon, what else? I missed Hannity talking about Seth Rich again. Yeah, I didn't see it either, Judy. I just heard that's what he was doing, and that's what got the advertisers all upset. Jim Acosta is so rude. Danielle, they need to get somebody else. Very inappropriate and disrespectful, Acosta. Yep, Jerry. So wrong, ruining a good party. He could be banned, period. He should be. And at the White House press briefings, I don't think they really call on him anymore. But, that doesn't stop him, and he doesn't take the hint. He just keeps on going. And as he said yesterday, well, I'm just my constitutional First Amendment right. True, Jim. That's absolutely true, but that still doesn't mean you should be an idiot, when you're talking in front of small children. Yeah, why would they exactly? Just to hear him say something ridiculous. So anyway, I don't think CNN is going to get rid of him. I think he's probably one of their go-to top reporters, and they'll just keep putting him out there every time because they know he's going to say something ridiculous. Good manners always, I know, apply to Jim. You're right in when they step on mine. You're right in when they step on mine, Barbara said. Time and a place, and that wasn't it. Exactly, Lee. I'm telling you, he's like that drunk uncle at the party that you're just hoping, oh my gosh, can we just get through this without him doing something ridiculous? And with Jim Acosta, you can't because he's always doing something ridiculous. Hey, John, back at your first day on Periscope. Good to see you. Now, today, the federal court is set to sentence its first person from the Robert Mueller probe. Now, let's have a drum roll. Gosh, who can that be? The court is going to sentence them. Can't get any volume. I guess, Teresa, you might have to go out and come back in. Yeah. Well, let's see, Barbara. See if you recognize this name. Alex van der Swan. He's a Dutch national who pled guilty to lying to the federal agents and to Mueller. So, I mean, there you go. Wow. Whoo. Big, big drum roll. I know, Chris. Big drum roll of that one. And of course, it's the same thing again where Danielle, who knows? It's the same thing where yeah, no, Manafort's nothing yet on Manafort. Never heard of him. I know Kelly never will again. No collusion, though CNN will say it is. Yes, Brandon. His name is Alex van der Zwaan. ZWAAN, a Dutch national. Yep, who cares except him, Barbara? Well, CNN is hoping that you will. Yeah, well, he's Dutch, Lee. That's probably why you've never heard of him. And again, they got it for the same thing they got Flynn, which was just lying to the federal agents. And again, lying to them means if you say A, B, C, and D in your first sentence and you say A, B, then you may be a liar. He's a lawyer very connected to the Russian oligarchs, Ivanka said. Mueller probably tricked him. Well, just like they did Flynn. Like I said, if you change one thing in your second sentence, they can say you lied to us. That's why you should never talk to them without an attorney. But, you know, Flynn, I think Flynn was caught off guard, and he should have just said, okay, you're going to have to leave. I'm not speaking to you. But I think he just got nervous. So, all right. Jeff Bezos, the owner of Amazon, he's lost $9.86 billion since President Trump was considering ways to change its tax treatment. But Hillary does not. She can lie. Exactly, Chizzy. Why was Flynn going turkey hunting in the Poconos? Because he wanted to? How can the FBI charge anyone with lying? How hypocritical? Exactly. Meaning oligarchs connected to Trump campaign. There are no oligarchs connected to Trump's campaign. Susan, be careful how you ever had Russian salad dressing. You may be investigated. You know, and Barbara, I feel okay about that because I've never had Russian salad dressing. So I think I'm probably pretty safe on that account. But, you know, you just never know. Anyway, Jeff Bezos, you know, I mean, this guy, what, the richest guy in the world or whatever, never has paid taxes. And a lot of stores, I don't know about your area, but I've seen it a lot in California where a lot of the brick and mortar stores are going out of business because they can't compete with Amazon. Now, I don't mind so much, you know, I mean, Amazon does deliver the product on time, this, that, and the other, but, Cully, you're guilty. Cully's had some Russian vodka, everybody. Cully, should we ban you from the room because we don't want to be connected in any way to Russian interference with the election? And that might qualify, especially if Mueller is listening, who is probably getting pretty desperate right now to get something on somebody. So we may have to just ban you from the room, Cully, now that you've made that admission. I had never heard of Russian salad dressing, Chessie said. Sure, Chessie, except you cannot buy customer service on Amazon. Amazon paid $900 million in taxes. I don't think so, Shady. Because Cully husband's a stolly man. So anyway, there's some rumors going around that people are in trouble, like Facebook, Google, Amazon, and that it could possibly lead to breaking them up. It actually makes me sneeze, Russian dressing. Sure it does, Barbara. Sure. Wink, wink. Hey, Tanya, how are you? Let's see. Did anybody know that there's a protest going on at Howard University right now? Privacy lawsuits. Antitrust, I think, Brandon, would be more what they would come after them at. But I also think that Zuckerberg could be in trouble for a lot more than just antitrust. Just because you don't think so. Really? Well, Shady, just because you do think so doesn't mean it happens. So your logic can go both ways. So good point there. No, not heard of that. So anyway, so at Howard University, the students are this is their 5th day in the protest. Here's what they're demanding. They want the resignation of the school's president. They want transparency on the university's spending and improvements to the university housing and facilities and the overhaul of the school's response to sexual assault. So here we go. We have the children running the prisons, right? Protests began after 6 employees were fired after alleged financial aid scam. Yeah, go to class, move along, exactly. Howard is the college that cheered the OJ verdict, Cully said. Zucker sold a lot of his own stock off. Probably knew what was coming, Barbara. Yeah, but Howard University, I mean, here are these people, they're going to school there. How old are the students? They're college age, Judy. You know, old enough to know better, adults. I think so, Brandon. So, you know, they're sitting out in front of somebody's office. Time to stop government student loans. Yeah, man, I know. They're sitting out and just saying, we're not going anywhere until we get our demands met. Well, okay, here's what I would do. Yeah, it's a university. That's right, Shady. What I would do is that I would call the campus police, and I would have these people removed from the hallways. I'm sure they're sitting outside of the president's office or something like that, and just have them removed. I mean, how much longer are we going to allow people just to hold people hostage until they get what they want? It's ridiculous. If you want to go to school at Howard University, go to school. If you don't like some of the things that they're doing, there's other ways to complain about it. You know, you can write petitions. You can have a meeting with the school. You can do a lot of things. But sitting out front and saying, you're not getting by, or we're just going to sit here, you know, it's ridiculous. So they're paying tuition to sit in the hall. No, Judy, their parents probably are. Change schools, right? Tell you to be nice. Yeah, teachers probably giving them extra credit. No doubt, Brandon. So ridiculous. But, you know, again, under the Obama days, that would have been something like everybody would have been talking about. There would have been, the entire school would have been in the hallways. It would have been a total protest, a never-ending, huge deal. Oh, gosh. No, Shady, this isn't the same. So try not to mix apples and oranges. I know people on the left tend to do that. Don't mix apples and oranges. Well, sit-ins are useful as walkouts. Who cares, right, Barbara? See, what you should do as an entrepreneur, what you should do when you know those kids are sitting there in their little protest, just make some sandwiches, make some coffee, you know, some sodas. Go buy and sell them, right? That's what you should do as an entrepreneur. Good morning, running late. I've got a sick puppy. Oh, Dawn, no. Get him to the vet if you need to. You know, show them how it's done at a protest. No, Shady, I don't need to read a story to know why they're protesting. I just read to you why they were protesting. I don't believe in people sitting in front of colleges trying to have their way when they're little students there. If you don't like the way the school's run, you can always opt to go to another school. Or you can meet another way. Sort of, you know, I don't know, in a professional manner. That's sort of what they did on Madam Secretary. Love that show. She went yesterday. Okay, good, Dawn. I hope she gets better quickly. So, class absences equal drop them from class. Exactly, Penny Arcade. Hey, Robin. Carmen's back. Carmen, what happened? Did you get kicked out? Dixie Doodles, but Susan, those kids want it free. Yes, I know, Dixie. Exactly. They want their cake and eat it too. So serve them. No, just kidding. Frozen, booted. Wow. What was the news on Bezos? Basically that he had lost $9.86 billion after President Trump started talking about considering ways to change its tax treatment. Free privilege. It's not my fault. I cannot spell or punctuate. It all started in a little schoolhouse, Barbara said. Did you go to Howard University by chance, Barbara, or was that having issues on your end? Okay. Blame your teachers. Yeah, I know, Shady. I know what was happening. And that's what they call booking them into the courthouse under investigation for criminal prosecution. That's what you do. Those people will be criminally prosecuted. Well, I use Amazon a lot. To be honest, it's convenient. Yep, Chezzy. Exactly, Judy. It's illegal. Shady, yes, it's illegal, and the law is going to take care of it. We have in this country, it's called the law. Tiny rural school in the country. Buy local now, I guess. Brandon said it's going to be a court trial, so you don't need to sit out in the hallway and protesting. Those people are going to go to jail for what they did if it's proven. So we don't need students sitting there going, we want the president to step down. And if you want the president to step down, if there's really a reason that the president should step down, then, I don't know, get the parents together who are paying the tuition for the people to go to Howard and say, look, we want the president to resign. I think that would happen in about 5 minutes if that were the case. But it doesn't seem like the parents are involved. All right, so... yeah, talk to the board. There you go, Judy. Her postal service loses $1.50 per package delivering for Amazon. Yeah, if you tried it, illegal for the president to use his power to influence the market to affect your business. Shady, do you is your mom cleaning the basement today? Just a quick question. College has an executive board too. Exactly. Teachers protesting bug me. They knew what they would make in that state when they went to school. You're talking about Oklahoma. Probably. So you have more people today than when you're not talking about Jesus. That's right, Brandon. When I'm talking about Jesus, they go, woo, out the door. It's very quickly. Students just want to sit around and whine. Yes, they do, Amanda. They do, because and what's going to happen, Amanda, here's what's going to happen. When it comes time for tests, hopefully the tests aren't going to be like in the next week or so, because they're going to go in and say, gosh, we can't have the test. We're too distraught over what's happened, and it would be impossible to have a test today. I do too, Chessie. So that's exactly what's going to happen. Yes, if you guys could, it's halftime. If you would please retweet. Safe room is not a hallway. Yeah, I know, Cully. That's something they haven't quite picked up on. But, let's hope there's not going to be any tests coming up soon, because how would they be able to get through the testing process? After all, they've got demands here. Give them a coloring book with their tests. Good there. Susan, you're not a good whiner. I know. I'm telling you, Robin, there's no need to whine. Oh, the humanity. Oh, my God. Post office is posted. Hey, Julia. I didn't see you come in, Julia. It won't allow me to retreat. This has gone fast. I know, Chessie, like that. It always does. And don't forget, too, today, it's God's Views on Political News on Facebook. The Facebook page, God's Views on Political News, will be on at 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern. And that looked like the vapors. And you can watch it live. You can make comments, and you can ask questions, and set your alarm, Marlene said. Yeah, absolutely. I didn't see Marianne. Is Marianne in here today? I didn't see her. Okay, so Rod Rosenstein. There's been some classified information that has come up. You could move to Texas and teach for $10,000 more a year, starting in the best districts. I'm stealth like that, Julia. Julia, you are. It's so cool. Rod Rosenstein told Robert Mueller in a classified August 2nd, 2017 memo that he should investigate allegations that Manafort was colluding with Russian government officials. This is according to CNN. Also, also empowered by Rosenstein to investigate Manafort's payments from Ukrainian politicians. Seems a little odd. You appoint a special counsel and then you tell him what he should and shouldn't investigate. When you typically appoint a special counsel, it's because you're not doing it yourself and you let them handle it. But apparently, in this case, Rod Rosenstein was telling Mueller what he should and shouldn't do. Yes, CNN said that. It was a classified document, Amanda, that came out in court papers. I think maybe Mueller had to kind of justify his investigation and costs, and it was attached to that and what he was doing. Because if you remember, the only person he's really gotten so far. Manafort, Gates, and Flynn. Anyone else tired of the pollen? Everything is yellow, Brandon said. Oh, okay, thanks. Yeah, nope, not a problem. Um, Also, we're not hearing too much of this in the news. President Trump's approval rating is higher than Obama's at the same time in Obama's presidency. That's according to a Rasmussen poll. So I think I've seen that in one or two places, and President Trump talked about it, and that's about it. Yep, 50%. And that's higher than where Obama was. So, but I don't know. How come Jim Acosta didn't say, hey, Mr. President, I hear your approval rating is at 50%, and that's higher than Obama's. What do you have to say about that, sir? Well, we couldn't have him do that. We had the drunk uncle. Now, that is good news, Lee said. Yep, Morning Joe missed it. Acosta needs his press pass yanked. Yes, wouldn't that be great? Ninja, Obama was at 46. Someone needs to accost Acosta. Robin said, but he is not most admired, they had to point out. Oh, of course. And he didn't win a Nobel Peace Prize for just showing up there, Barbara, either. Probably closer to 70. Yep. Yes, and people are not talking about it. Had a Twitter war with Trump's approval percentage, Chezzy said. Yeah, so if he'd gotten the Nobel Peace Prize, which would never happen, one, he's conservative. Two, he's hated by the left. Boy, what would they have done then? What would they have been able to talk about? When will folks realize that many MSM organizations are propaganda? I'm wondering that myself, Brandon. When will they recognize it? Trump is holding a good rating in midst of all the hate. Exactly, Carmen. Who else do you know? And any other president that could possibly have done that? Maybe Ronald Reagan. Let's see. Huntington Beach last night joined Los Alamitos, California, in deciding that they were not going to go along with the sanctuary city/state rule SB 54, and they're going to be filing a lawsuit against California, basically telling them we're opting out. So good for Huntington Beach. That was an amazing city council meeting. I know, I saw part of it, Ninja. It was great. Omar scoped it. Mike Tokes scoped it. Other people did. Sue Governor Moonbeam. Yay, yes. Moonbeam is just nuts. Yay, Huntington Beach. Yep. I loved it too, because Huntington Beach, they were saying, build that wall. Build that wall. I loved it. MSM is biased and does not represent us. True, Brandon. That was wonderful to watch, Robin said. Absolutely it was. And that's why I say, don't give up on California. Don't think that all Californians are the same. Nobel Peace Prize now equivalent to a participation trophy. Exactly, Chris. You don't have to do anything anymore to get one. You just have to show up, be on the left. Here's your trophy. Thanks for coming out. There was rumors that about Scott Pruitt, who is the EPA head, that he may be getting kickbacks from lobbyists because he rented a room from a lobbyist's wife back when he started in his position. He was renting a bedroom for $50 a night. And hey, Patrick, and that's below the rate in. Yeah, you got yellow. That's below the rate in Washington, D.C. You can't get anything for $50 a night. And I mean anything for $50 a night in Washington, D.C. He stayed there, like I said, for the first 6 months he was in office. And he was still living there when the EPA approved a Canadian energy company's pipeline extension. And the connection is that her husband was the main lobbyist for that Canadian company. He's saving money. There you go. CNN will say many Americans support gun bans, blah, blah, blah. No, not really, CNN. Exactly, Brandon. They don't. Good morning, ladies, as usual. It's okay, Patrick. Oh, dear, bless his heart. He did not have money or want to sleep in the office. I know. Poor guy. I mean, how much money do you make as the head of the EPA? What? Maybe, I don't know, $10,000 a year? Do you think that's the right price? Hey, Chicago Pops. I think it's probably a little bit more than that, and wonder why he couldn't have found a room someplace else that he could have afforded to pay for. But anyway, he spoke with President Trump last night, and President Trump issued encouragement to him for the job that he's doing. Now, President Trump's done that before, and he has fired people, so it's possible. When you talk to the left friends, they literally say what they hear from MSM, that's all they have. That's right, Brandon. They never go research on their own. They just watch their local news, and that's it. They don't even know kind of like nationally what's going on unless they're told about it on their local news. And a lot of times they aren't. Chicago Pops, are you back in Chicago now? Trump says the right, yeah, that's right, before they says goodbye. Yep, exactly. Other news, got back yesterday. Oh, Chicago Pops. Ooh. Sorry to hear that in some ways. Wish you were back in California. Taxpayers are being stiffed by all the corrupt organizations like EPA. Chris says, yes, true. Marlene, he said he got back yesterday in Chicago. Stay safe in Chicago. From what I hear, that the violence is down in Chicago for the third straight month. Not by a lot, but it is down. Paul Ryan's Democrat challenger, happy to be back, raised $4.75 million since June of 2017 and has nearly $2.3 million in cash. So a Democrat with a lot of support going against Paul Ryan. Yes. Brandon, London has now passed New York City for the first time for the number of homicides committed, Brandon, by stabbings. Not guns, because we all know in Europe, and they'll be quick to point it out, we don't have your gun problem and deaths by a gun. But no, they have now knives problem, and worse than New York City. How bad is it when it's worse than New York City? Seriously. They should remember that. Paul Ryan reminds me of a Democrat. So, well, he is, Ninja. He's a rhino. Same thing. Ryan, a Democrat, sounds like a primary, Judy said. Take all cutlery away, ban knives, and then we have to get the cars and you know, the trucks and all that. 2 kids were shot in London yesterday. I heard that, Lee. Yep, and they're investigating, of course. We had some of that news yesterday. Let me see if I can find some of the things that we were saying. London's city's murder rate topped New York City as the killers turned to knives. London has 8.7 million people versus New York's 8.5 million residents. And the Sunday Times reported 15 people murdered in London versus 14 in New York City within in March, I believe, like within like a week. In March, a British publication said 22 were killed in London versus 21 in New York. California, though, eat with hands. No plastic cutlery allowed. No, we have plastic cutlery. Planes or takeaway, they are very dangerous. That's right, too. So, yeah, I mean, London, again, how many times have you gone on and they tell you, oh, you know, gosh, we're not like you, America. We don't have guns. We don't have that problem. And they look down upon us. It's like, well, you can kind of give them the stats now between London and New York City and say, you know, our stats may be a little bit better than yours at this point. Yeah, Mayor Khan. Whew. Now, the students at the Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School have returned to school, and guess what? They all have the see-through backpacks. My dad really wanted a boy, Barbara said. Additional security precautions include stationing 8 Florida Highway Patrol troopers at the school, locking classroom doors at all times, securing outside doors and gates often, and conducting emergency preparedness and response training for faculty, staff, and students on a regular basis. To enter the campus, students now are allowed through 4 monitored gates before school starts and only 1 after the opening bell. The school district plans to issue metal detecting wands to law enforcement officers stationed at the gates, and sports bags and musical instrument cases are subject to search. Students also will get identification badges and lanyards to wear by the end of the week. Again, it's sad, but their freedoms are being taken away, and I don't even think they really realize what's happening. It seems to me that the metal detectors, people monitoring the gates, people searching the bags, whatever, should be enough, rather than the kids having to wear badges, having see-through backpacks, and things of that nature. Hey, Bruno. So, again, they don't really know what freedom is because they've never really known it, most of them. I mean, if you're born after 2001, 9/11, you really don't know what it's like to have freedom. They will care one of these days. Maybe, Alan, maybe. I don't know. I mean, they're so trained to not have freedom. They asked for it. They got it. Yep, we never had backpacks, Cully said. The MSD high school kids now complain school is like a jail. Exactly, Jerry. Well, it is. My kids have IDs around their necks in high school. Wow, Ninja said. How are they going to hide their drugs? Good question, Daniel. Good question. Yeah, and for girls who carry things that they don't want boys necessarily to see, or at least modesty used to be in vogue, I don't know what they're going to do with that. I had to have a clear purse when working on the mall. I missed that. I missed that one. It went too fast. We have an armed city cop at all our schools. They should be more than just one, Ninja. They can put it in the locker. Hey, Jesse Katina, how are you? Love the Katinas. Love the Katinas. Everybody, if you haven't heard the Katinas, you should listen to them. You want great Christian music? The Katinas. Katina. Love them. From what I read, David Hogg's sister is having a fit about all the excess security, Dawn said. Yeah. Metal detector searches and cameras should be enough. You think so, Brandon? I think that having guards at the school and the metal detectors and the bulletproof glass and, different doors, I think that ought to be enough. Yeah, when you work at the stores in the mall, you have to use a clear bag, Carmen said. You have to take clear purse to TCU games. Bright makes them. Wow. I would just leave my purse at home. You know what I'm saying? It's too much trouble. I mean, we go to sporting events and you're kind of searched. Your purse is searched or whatever. But I mean, at a school, you don't really expect to see that. I'm a janitor and bus driver. I'm willing to pack a gun for their protection, Daniel said. Yeah. And a lot of teachers I saw in Texas are being trained. Clear backpack is a little much. Check their stuff before they go in the building. Yes, Brandon. Go through a metal detector. Everybody should go through a metal detector. They search you at Disney, Barbara said. Hey, Bob, how are you? Just got a news flash that students are protesting the new security at Parkland. Wow, Robin. Who's reporting that? That didn't take long. And look, I mean, they've got that David guy who can go in there and be the activist for them. We have armed teachers in Texas and some ISDs. Most Chicago schools, the entrance doors only open from inside, Chicago Pop said. But again, David Hogg can go around and he could be the activist for all the schools and just say, hey, look, we're not going to do this. I'm for the metal detectors and armed guards at every door, Carmen said. Clear backpack was mandatory here a few years back, but I think it has changed, Dawn said. Yeah, I just think that clear backpack, that's a kind of a false sense of security. I mean, you can hide something in a clear backpack if you want to. I mean, I noticed some of those with clear backpacks, they had little pouches in there, and the pouches weren't clear. Hey, Ralph, how are you? Parkland exposed security issues, not a gun problem, Brandon said. That just proves they aren't wanting security. They just don't want freedom. And Alan, basically they're just saying, oh, we're gonna do this, and it is a false sense of security. They can thank Camera Hog for the packs. That's right, Cully. But of course they won't. they will have forgotten that it was he who kind of made that happen. Just so you know, too, you might, if you're looking for a pillow, you might want to support My Pillow, and I believe they go by at My Pillow USA, because they are supporting Laura Ingraham, and they did not pull their ads. It is the breakdown of society that has caused this. We need God more than ever in our society, and when God is gone, then evil moves in. Yep. I can remember 30 to 40 years ago when we were so much more peaceful. Gary said, well, except for the civil rights era. Yeah. I just like all people that don't love Trump, Bob said. Oh. This is a Trump tweet that he wrote yesterday. As ridiculous as it sounds, the laws of our country do not easily allow us to send those crossing our southern border back where they came from. A whole big wasted procedure must take place. Mexico and Canada have tough immigration laws, whereas ours are an Obama joke. Act, Congress. Clear backpacks will wear out too quickly and don't breathe in the summer heat. That's true. They are a cool company that helped during hurricanes, Barbara said. We got some My Pillows because of this Trump support. Good, Cully. Yeah, and I'm so glad that they decided that they weren't going to cave like the rest of those people for the Laura Ingraham show. Superintendents get paid way too much. They should offset them and get metal detectors. Deport Obama back. Are they worth the price? I don't know, Brandon. I've heard a lot of people do like them, but I don't know. Coley, do you like your pillows? My pillows are the ones that kind of go like that, so that gives your neck a support. I don't know if that supports your neck as well. I don't know. President Trump is set to name a deputy secretary to Treasury Secretary Steven Mnuchin. And contoured pillow, yes. Reports say Justin Mucinich is... God, can't these people have like simple names? His Mnuchin's current counselor will be tapped for the second-ranking position in the department. Gosh, Mucinich and Mnuchin. Blah. Special cut memory foam, love mine, yes. Mine has memory foam and contour. No, Sam Jones. I know, just like, I mean, with the two M's there and the two last names being so difficult to say, Mucinich and Mnuchin. There you go. Woo! Trump is draining the swamp. Yes, he is. He really is. It's a good thing to see. The DOJ told the immigration judges that they will have new quotas set for them. They have to hear now 700 cases a year. Woo! That's their quota. They don't have enough judges, and of course, we're not going to take the nuclear option because Congress just won't do it. So we're going to have we have a backlog of cases, and we need more judges. So each one is going to have to do about 700. And the report says that judges were told last week that they would be evaluated based on the speed with which they close immigration cases. Rosenstein gave secret message to Mueller. I don't think it was a secret message. It was a classified document. I mean, I guess you could call it secret, Carmen. We talked about that a few minutes ago when you were probably bumped out. Didn't Congress? Yeah, but we have Mitch McConnell who just can't seem to take the nuclear option. And again, we talked about it yesterday. We got the omnibus bill. We don't need lazy judges, Bob said. That's true. 700 cases, that's a lot. But, hey, just get through them. Do them. Now, I was reading, too. Didn't Congress just pretty much shut her down yesterday? Yeah, I think so, Alan. They'll probably be back next summer, right? I'm having phone issues, need to reboot. Some people, so they love My Pillows, say they love My Pillows. I work retail, we sell them. Beck said, Dims will go nuclear the first chance they get. Oh, absolutely, sure, Marlene. Of course they will. White House aides and Department of Homeland Security officials supposedly are working on a legislative package aimed at closing the loopholes in the immigration system that incentivize illegal immigrants from coming through. The reforms would ease restrictions on who law enforcement agents can detain and for how long, because the administration officials argued smuggling organizations know well the limits facing Border Patrol agents who intercept illegal immigrants. The package would also address weaknesses in the asylum-seeking process that create major backlogs of asylum cases. My wife and daughter love the MyPillow. Cool, Chris. Thanks. President Trump's team said the immigration debate in Congress has encouraged more illegal border crossings because resistance to fixing loopholes in the immigration system creates magnets that attract more illegals. Officials said what's creating these pull factors is the belief that there's going to be a never-ending leniency from now until the end of time in the United States. So true. California, I wrote on there, California is getting spanked by the DOJ. Yes, MyPillow. Like the OxyClean guy. Yes, Chezzy, that one. The MyPillow. California, basically, the DOJ is suing California. California was sitting on some federal land that I don't know if they were intentionally not trying to get it sold or what they were doing, because they were kind of afraid that President Trump was going to use some of that land to drill for oil and things of that nature. So Jeff Sessions says, California, hey, Lynn, he said, California, guess what? We're suing you, and we're going to take over the federal land because you can't sit on. Yes, I did say spank, Beck. Californians are losers. Well, not all of them, Bob. But anyway, they are going to go ahead and sell that federal land for California. You know it was intentional. Oh, yeah, I know, Alan. I know that realistically. I know that. You can watch the replay. That's right. What about Alaska? I don't know. I don't know what Alaska's going to do. They'll probably go after Alaska next. I mean, if they're sitting on federal land and they're not selling it on purpose, you know, you can't do that. A state can't do that. So the federal government, in this case the DOJ, filed a lawsuit to go back and take over that land. Did Trump get spanked by that actress? I don't know if that's true, Bob. I think that's just kind of hearsay. BLM will gladly take it. Yeah, the Bureau of Land Management, Brandon said. Yeah. Maybe they can put some wild horses on it. Anything. Hey, you know, anything would be better than a bullet train of $90-some million, don't you think? Now, Arizona, Cal-Era has ruined that state. Well, the Democrats have ruined California. That's for sure. The EPA, yeah. California is absolutely beautiful. We've talked about that before. Yeah, Stormy isn't an actress. I don't think a porn. I'm not calling her a porn star. Call her what she is. Okay. I'll let you do that. The porn person isn't a star, and she's not an actress. And as I said one time jokingly, if you can't trust a porn star, then who can you trust? Being sarcastic, of course. Hooker Daniels, Cully said. Yeah, I mean, porn star, really? I don't think so. I do feel sorry for her, and I especially feel sorry for her daughter, who has to go around knowing that her mother is connected with porn. You know, I mean, there are people, I guess, who like porn, but porn is devastating to a family and to just about anybody else. Talk about pay for play. But I'm bum. Yeah. Hooker Daniels is good. I know Colin came up with that. I trust the writer of Fire and Fury more than Stormy, Ninja said. Yeah, I mean, Dixie Doodles is laughing. Well, those people think it's all just the family business, right? High on Benadryl, I guess. They are the leftist morals personified. Yep. Pretty true. Sorry for her. She was sleeping with a married man. Well, no, I'm sorry for her soul, Dixie, not for her. And I'm sorry, mostly sorry for her daughter that has to know all this. Have a great day, everybody. Again, if you'd like to watch God's Views on political news at 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 Eastern, just go to God's Views on Political News page, and you can comment and make questions. Why did I get blocked? I love Trump. Bob, I think it was a statement that you made. Somebody must have blocked you. Also, remember, My Ears Are Not Like Yours, available at Amazon.com. Give a child you love a great and encouraging message. Amazon.com. My Ears Are Not Like Yours. Thank you, everybody. I will be back on Thursday. Thanks, Susan. Another great scope. Good to see everyone. My nephews loved it. Thank you, Chezzy. Thank you, Lori. Thanks, everyone. Also, don't forget to go to AbbieBellPetDesigns.com if you want to get one of those cuddle pouches. I'm telling you, they are soft and cuddly. Take no prisoners here, Barbara said. All right, you guys. See you on Thursday. Stay safe. God bless you. Take care. And we'll see you again.